Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay up the back? Good. Can you understand my Australian accent? Okay. Good. Well, thank you for having me today. I have 15 minutes to tell you about what is one of the most exciting changes for humanity that you may not know is actually happening. Of course, I'm talking about longevity and the longevity revolution that I here stand to tell you about and represent as a scientist in this field. So my background, just briefly, is I've been in the longevity research field for 30 years. I've watched its rapid changes, and I'm at Harvard Medical School, and I run a lab of about 25 PhDs. And we are pushing the boundaries of what is possible with human health. And it is clear to me, and many of my colleagues around the world, that our generation is going to witness the biggest change in health since the inventions of clean water and vaccines. And what I'm talking about is our ability to control our own biology. And when that happens, and this may only be between 10 and 20 years in the future, we will look back at today, at our current healthcare, and think of it like it is very old-fashioned, if not medieval. So I'm talking about aging today, and for many years we've ignored aging. If you go to a doctor, typically a doctor says, well, you're getting old, it's normal for you to lose your eyesight, it's normal for you to have bad hearing, it's normal for you to get heart disease. This is aging, it's normal. And for too long, normal has equaled acceptable. And I'm here to say that we no longer have to think of something that's normal being acceptable. Everything else about our life, the air in this room, the lights, the clothes we wear, the cars we drive, this is not natural. This is not normal for humans. But we change our world for the better. And the same is going to be for how fast we get older. Aging doesn't have to be acceptable. In my world, aging is a medical condition that's very common, and it's increasingly treatable. So what I show in this graph is how rapidly the rise is of diseases as we get older. On the bottom axis is the age that we get, and the diseases rise in risk as we get older. And what I want you to see is it's not a straight line, it's exponential, and they all go up. So by the time we're 80, almost more than 50% of us have 5 or more diseases. And the older you get, the worse it gets. And the goal of my research and people like me around the world is to push the curve in this direction so that diseases come later. And the only way to do that is to tackle aging itself. Even if we cured all cancer today, we would only live an average of an extra 2.5 years. Let that sink in. All cancer's gone today. We only live, on average, another 2.5 years. Why? Because all of the diseases are going up at the same time. So we need to tackle all of the diseases at once, and that's aging. Aging is the cause of these diseases. They look different, right? In the brain, aging is different. It looks like Alzheimer's. In the heart, it looks like heart disease. In the skin, it looks like wrinkles. But the same process is the same in every tissue, and we can now slow it down. And what I'm going to tell you today is that next month, we're going into human clinical trials to test for the first time in history whether we can reverse the aging process and cure diseases. So it's a very important moment. So this is a world forum. We want to talk about economics, I think. And we calculated, my colleagues and I in London, that the economic value to slowing aging is tremendous. It can dramatically improve the GDP of a country, even if you slow aging by 1 year. You just make your population live a healthy 1 extra year. And for the United States, for example, that's an extra $38 trillion. Why? Because people are not sick and they are more productive. If you extend out lifespan by 10 years, now that's 360 something trillion dollars. These are big numbers. Why? Because our greatest asset as a country is not tech, it's not oil, it's not gold, it's human resource. Adult human productivity is the greatest resource of any country. And there's a problem now. For most of certainly the Western world, the rates of fertility are declining. In 1960, the average person was having many more children. Per 1,000 people, every year there were 25 babies in the United States in 1960. Now it's around 10 babies per 1,000 people. For the first time, more than half of the American states produced fewer babies than people died. Half of the United States is declining in population. So we have less and less people to do the work. So there are only two solutions: replace them with robots or keep people alive and healthy. The other problem is there's very little research into aging. Okay? In the United States, which puts the most research dollars into aging, you can see on this graph it's only 500 million compared to many billions of dollars to target individual diseases. But as I told you, if you target individual diseases, you're not going to extend lifespan by very much. You need to tackle all of the processes at once. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of biology lesson, because it's very important that you understand why we can now tackle aging when we couldn't do this even 5 years ago. We can tackle aging because we now believe we understand why we age. And it's not wear and tear. It's not that we just wear out like a car. Our bodies are not like cars. Our bodies are more like computers that can be programmed and reprogrammed and rebooted to be young again. And this graph from my good colleague and friend Stephen Horvath, Professor Stephen Horvath, showed that you can even measure changes, chemical changes on our DNA, in our blood or anywhere. We can take a cheek swab from our mouth and we can measure how old we are, not by our birthdays, which is called chronological age, but by how fast our body is getting older. We call this our biological age. And there's a very specific measure for how old we are biologically. And these are chemicals that get changed on the DNA. Our DNA is not pure, it's not just clean. It gets chemicals added on and off as we get older, and we can measure those with sequencing machines and predict not just how old somebody is, but more importantly, how sick they will be in the future and even when they will die. And in the United States, you can buy a kit and take a cheek swab or take a blood sample, and the company will tell you how old you are biologically and how long you might live if you don't change your health. And you can see on this graph, some people are much younger than others, even if they have the same birthday. Now, this is the theory that comes from my lab at Harvard. It's called the information theory of aging, and this is the idea that we are like computers, not machines. One analogy, and hopefully you all remember what a compact disc is. I think you do. When I teach students, sometimes I have to tell them what is a CD. But what we think aging is like scratches on a CD. The DNA is the music, so we get beautiful music when we're young, but when we get old, we cannot read the beautiful music. Our cells do not read the DNA correctly, so the cells, they become lost, they become confused, and our old cells do not make the right proteins and they get diseases. This, we believe, is aging. But what's amazing is we found that you can polish the CD, you can get rid of the scratches and rejuvenate cells so they're young again. And to put it another way, you can reinstall the software of the body so that it's young again. We can quite literally, in my lab, reverse the age of cells and of very complex organs and tissues, including the eye, the most complex, and the brain. We can reverse aging by 75% in 6 weeks. And I'll show you what happens when we do that. This is the opposite experiment we did. This is what happens when you scratch the CD, when you corrupt the software of an animal. We're putting those chemicals on the DNA and making it get older faster. And you can see the mouse on the right is the brother of the other brother, born on the same day, same age, but one of them, we accelerated the aging process. We scratched the CD of this mouse. Good evidence that the information theory of aging may be correct. And what we like to say in my lab is if you can give something, you can take it away. So we started working on how to reverse aging, not just accelerate it. So the question was, is aging in us reversible? We know that we can reverse it when we have children. Our babies are not born 30 years old or 40 years old, depending on the parents, because on the 7th day of fertilization, after you have a conception, on day 7, the baby goes back in age. There's a reset of the age when we're very young. But can you do this in our bodies? When we're older, when we're 40, when we're 50, even when we're 90, can you do this? And can it be safe ever? And I believe it can. And so because I only have 15 minutes to talk to you today, I'm going to give you a crash course in the science of age reversal. What we do is we use what are called Yamanaka genes. Yamanaka, Professor Shinya Yamanaka, won the Nobel Prize in 2006 for discovering that there are genes that can rejuvenate a cell back to a stem cell, back to age 0, which we use all the time now in the lab and in increasingly therapies. But we don't want to create age 0 cells in our body. That would be cancer. So what we had to figure out in my lab was, how do we reverse the age to 75 or 80%, but not 100%? So we use 3 of the Yamanaka genes, just 3, not 4, not 5, just 3. And we discovered in 2020 that that takes you back 75%, but no more. It stops at 75%. These 3 genes are called OCT4, SOX2, KLF4. They control other genes, but these are the reset switch. This is the polish for the compact disc. We call these OSK for short, OSK. This was the result that changed everything for us, and it got on the cover of Nature magazine in 2020, the world's leading scientific journal. And the title on the cover of this journal was Turning Back Time. This result shows that you can rejuvenate cells, make them young again, and you can even regrow the tissue. These are optic nerves in a mouse that have been damaged. The top one is the damaged one. The bottom one is also damaged, but rejuvenated, made young again so that it can grow. And so these mice had their optic nerve regenerated. So we actually were able to show that using this method, we could cure blindness in animals for the first time. We could cure blindness. But we didn't choose the eye because it would work well. We chose the eye because we wanted to test if we could cure blindness. Since then, we've tested that we can benefit and treat diseases such as Alzheimer's disease in the brain of mice, multiple sclerosis, motor neuron disease or ALS, kidney disease and liver disease. It's not just the eye that can get reversed and cured of diseases. It's seemingly every part of the body. It's a universal reset in the body. And I believe that that's going to be the future of pushing those diseases out 10 years, maybe one day 50 years into the future, so we can spend our 80s and our 90s, that decade, being just as productive as we were in our 40s and 50s. There is a company that I started 8 years ago called Life Biosciences, and it's based in Massachusetts, and they are doing the clinical trials. What they did was they tested whether this eye treatment worked in animals higher than mice, and they actually tested this in monkeys, and they were able to show that it also works in animals just like us. And as you can see from this graph, the eye is just the beginning. We're going to be treating glaucoma, very prevalent in this region of the world. NAION, the next disease, is a stroke in the eye, so you can wake up blind. There's 3 times more of this condition now than there was 10 years ago because of the weight loss drugs. The GLP-1 receptor agonist drugs actually increase the frequency of blindness by this NAION, like a stroke. And then we're going to be working on other tissues, the liver, perhaps the lungs, hearing. We believe we can treat every tissue, eventually do a whole body reset of the body to be able to be young again. And it takes about 6 weeks. And the world reported just last week that the US FDA regulatory body cleared the way for the first age reversal human trial. It's a big deal. The FDA is very supportive. And we will know this year, maybe in the next few months, if age reversal works. Initially in the eye for glaucoma and NAION to treat blindness, and then we will move on to the rest of the body. And these are my colleagues at Life Biosciences. The CEO, on the left is Michael Ringel from Boston Consulting Group, COO. In the middle, the lady is the CSO, scientist, Sharon Rosenzweig-Lipson, and the CEO is Jerry. We're very fortunate to have some investment from this region, including from G42, so I'm very grateful for their support. We've just raised around $80 million to do these trials. And I do believe that we have a very good chance of seeing success in the clinic this year. And if you're wondering, how does this all work? What's the biology? What should I do now to stay healthy? I'm going to give a shameless plug of the book that I wrote, because this talks about the future, talks about the economy, and all of the social benefits that will come from this technology. Thank you for having me.